It seems the world can't get enough of our essential oils. More than 90% is now being sold overseas. And while there's strong demand for our better-known oils like tea tree, the market for more unusual native oils like blue cypress is growing. Christy O'Brien has the story.
It's the liquid gold of nature, our trees and plants transformed into lucrative drops that can heal, calm, or simply allure. As far back as colonisation, the oils derived from our vast backyard were swiftly recognised as a commodity, none more so than the famous Australian eucalyptus. From 1852, the trees were being harvested and distilled as the popularity of Australian eucalyptus took off around the world. But it wasn't our only natural remedy. During both World Wars, wild harvested tea tree oil was used by the Anzacs. Australian sandalwood was also being used as a bactericide before being replaced by antibiotics. But it all went on the decline as wild harvesting became unprofitable and artificial substances started to take over. Nowadays, it seems the natural way is the only way for some, as oils stake a renewed claim in the health and well-being world, whether it be the promise of a cure, calming aid, or perfumes. Of course, while many boast of certain healing properties, the science doesn't back up parts of this growing community. The hype, real or otherwise, does, however, mean new business for farmers. Extracting the oils from plants and trees, either grown, wild or propagated, can provide quite the cash incentive. David Johnson is also benefiting from the surge in demand. He runs one of the many hundreds of companies in Australia who act as a conduit between the farmers and buyers. In a strange turn of events, it was a connection between sheep and oil that sparked a fascination and career in the trade.
I took a job with the Wool Testing Authority and was there for a long time. That gave me an insight into process, into testing, and so I got very interested into the science of how things were done. And of course, dragging my, extended and continuing love of the wool industry along with it, I just began to see the applied aspects of everything we're doing in the wool industry.
His view is that growing products to make essential oils can make farmers extra cash, spreading risk and increase profit with minimal outlay.
I'm finding in the new generation of farmers who have a much broader view of what their enterprise's capacities are, and they're looking for alternatives to just a single mono enterprise or a dual enterprise, and they feel more vulnerable, I guess. So what they're looking for is diversification, and we hope to help them do that. Essential oils often don't suffer the same sort of vagaries of income that other enterprises do. So if you're a sheep farmer, they find that they can grow shelter belts that are all-bearing plants, and they can make use of those shelter belts both as a benefit to their sheep or cattle or whatever animal they're running, but also get an income from the shelter belt itself.
It's ultimately these native products that are where many in the industry see a huge future. Indigenous landowners too are starting to see their knowledge of ancient remedies and bush herbs could become the next big thing. And there's plenty of businesses who'd like more native oils on their books.
Fundamentally, there are commodity essential oils grown in Australia, like tea tree, to a lesser extent eucalyptus, and even lesser again lavender. But the customers overseas want to see what else we can do. And not only is that of native origin, but also what we can grow that's not customarily grown here. So their demand really is for diversity, something different, something that has special applications in aromatherapy or cosmetics. And that doesn't limit itself to essential oils. It can be native plants that provide a valuable active in extract or an infusion.
As parts of the world look for natural alternatives, it's farmers who could be in line to benefit the most.